Hello everyone, and welcome to another video of Jurassic Prince. I'm Michael Braun, and today I have an interview with another Jurassic Park actor, and that's Harvey Jason, who played Ajay in The Lost World. I talked to Harvey on the phone last week, and I asked him if he was interested in doing an interview, and he was really nice enough to take the time to do this. I'm excited. It's personally it's my favorite sequel, so let's go have a chat with him, shall we? Hello.
Hey, Michael.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay. Thank you very much.
Good, good. I think your camera is like sideways. Is there a way to make? There we go.
There we go.
Nice to meet you, kind of.
Pleasure. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for doing this, Mr. Jason. I really appreciate it. I'm excited, man. I have tons of questions to ask you about your time working on The Lost World. Tell me how
Long
all,
time ago now. It's a
yeah,
long time ago.
23 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a classic. A classic for a sequel, especially, and I think it's the best sequel in the series.
Really? I haven't seen the other ones. I know there are 3 different cuts that Stephen made of Lost World.
Yeah, that's cool. So tell me how it all started when you got this role.
I had a call saying that would I put something down on film for Stephen, which I did. And as a matter of fact, I'd just been hired to do another movie at the time and was just about to start the other film. And I forget what day it was. Say it was a Monday. And so I laid down some stuff that Stephen wanted. And then on Wednesday, I thought, I better find out because I've got to start work on the other picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I called the casting director and I said, listen, I'm calling because I need to know what the deal is because I'm starting another film. And she said, just a second. It was the secretary. And then the casting director got on. She said, guess what? He wants you. You got the. I said, oh my God. Okay, thanks. So she said, we're going to be shooting. Stephen wants you to know they're going to be shooting in Australia. So you'll be leaving soon. So you got to get down to the studio and see Stephen and see everybody, hair and makeup and wardrobe and all that stuff. It turned out we didn't go there because Katie, Stephen's wife, was having a baby.
Yeah.
And, so we didn't go to Australia. We started off instead in Eureka, in the Redwood country. And we started almost immediately. I think it was like maybe a week after that, 10 days at the latest, when we were on a little plane, all 10 of us, the core group, the stars of the picture, the 10 of us were on our way to Eureka.
Oh, interesting. That's pretty cool. I've never been to Eureka. The closest I've been to in Northern California is Muir Woods, but it's very similar.
It's a beautiful place.
Absolutely.
All the big redwoods. It was lovely, and we all stayed at a charming place, and we all got very close. It was a very tight knit company.
Nice. I bet you had a blast on the set.
Yeah, we did. We had a great time.
And how long do you work for on set? Like, how many days, if you remember?
It was about 4 months, I think.
4 months. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long time. And what was it like working with the cast and crew, especially Pete Postlethwaite?
Well, Pete and I became friends from the get-go because now a very big dialogue scene of mine was cut in the main cut of the film.
Yeah.
I don't know when. The market scene.
Yeah, I saw that when you meet up with Roland.
Yeah, that's the plot into the thing. Stephen didn't like the set, and at one point he came up to me and said, "Listen, with your permission, I think I'm." He said, "I looked at the dailies yesterday, and the set. I don't like it. It doesn't look realistic." And he said, "If the audience doesn't believe that, Harvey, then they're not going to believe the dinosaurs later on." So he said. I remember verbatim in his words. He said, "With your permission, I'm going to ask you to let me send you to what was the name of the place? Louis, remember the name of the place where I was supposed to be from?
It was going to be sending you to
wherever it was in Africa." He said, "If you don't mind,
Kenya.
I'll send you down there fly you down there. So he said, take the family, have a holiday down there for a week. I just need you to cross the street. I just need you to get footage crossing the street. So I said, yeah, fine, Stephen, whatever.
Okay.
As it turned out, we didn't do that. But Pete and I got very, very friendly. Actually, we met at the introductory meeting, all 10 of us. And then he and I sat together on the little charter flying up to Eureka, and then got very, very close and became like best friends throughout the time. And then even after the picture finished, we became very close.
Oh, that's
That
very.
was great. Well, the whole company was delightful. I mean, it was a really, I've done a lot of movies. This was a very close-knit company. There was no temperament. There were no problems. Everybody was friendly. We had a lot of joking around, a lot of kidding. It was just great. It was terrific.
Oh, I bet it's especially on a Spielberg project. From what I've heard, he's very professional on set, and anything with Spielberg is, from what I've heard of, is on point. So I'm not surprised.
Well, he hires the right people. I mean, he doesn't do much in terms of directing. He certainly doesn't do much for the actors. So he hires people that he wants. He knows what he wants.
Yeah.
And then everybody carry on. His crew is always wonderful and very, very friendly, very efficient, a terrific crew. And Stan Winston, may rest in peace, was alive. And Stan was always there, always great, a lot of fun.
I'm like old school. I like practical effects, and just seeing the practical effects in the original trilogy is like, it just looks realistic, and I just think that's really amazing. And I bet it was so cool to see those animatronics in person on set. I mean,
that was fun. It was really great. I remember in Eureka, the first few days, Stephen got shots of each of us responding to these imaginary dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, up in the air. He said, "Oh, let's every one of you get up, look up in the sky, and imagine a dinosaur." And then he was thrilled. He was like a little kid. "Oh, that was great! That was great! That was great!" Yeah.
Oh,
But
no.
everybody was fun. Julianne was terrific, and Jeff is great. We had a good time.
Oh, that's great. I mean, even with with the CGI, I even think the CGI in, I guess, the first three films look fantastic. I mean, you can't really tell the difference between the animatronics and the CGI, and that's why when you blend those two together, you just can't really tell which one's what. And that's something I really appreciate. And I mean, I do think they overuse CGI nowadays, which I like CGI, but it's like sometimes they just overdo it, in my opinion.
To be honest, I'm not a fan of these kind of pictures. I know you are, and I respect that. A lot of people are. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the other Jurassic Parks. I saw the first one, and then I saw ours. But I was just so pissed off when Stephen cut that scene of mine.
Yeah.
In the marketplace.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, it was. It was too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to have it in the final cut, because we see your character's, Ajay's, relationship with Roland, and why towards the end, when you die in the film, we see the reason why Roland is really sad. Now, because of your death, it's the reason why Roland, technically quits Engine, the company of death. And wasn't there a delayed scene of your death in the film, in the long grass scene?
A deleted scene?
Yeah, deleted scene.
I don't know. It's been a long time. I'm not sure. I can't say. I don't know one way or the other. It was the memories. We just had such a marvelous time. And then there was a lot of attention because it broke all kinds of box office records when it opened.
Definitely.
For a long time it was, and then all the action figures. Oh, Louis just giving me my. Oh yeah, there's my action figure. Yeah.
I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah, that was fun.
I mean, I was actually looking up your action figure on eBay, and they go for like a lot of money. I like the toys from the first two movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's cool that you have your own action figure. I mean, I'll be honored to have my own action figure. I mean, I guess you can make your own. I guess you can go online and you can customize your own action figure. But
really?
I think you can. I think there's companies that can do it for you. Obviously, you got to pay some big money for it, but
Substantial amount of money. Yeah.
yeah. But since I'm sure they pay you for it, they pay you to have an action figure, do they?
Yeah. I'm very fortunate. Anybody buys the action, I get about 3/4 of a penny every time
Okay.
somebody.
Hey, it's better than
I don't know
nothing,
what
though.
it is. You never see that kind of. You can see money from residuals, of course,
Yeah,
still, but you don't see any money from the action figures.
that's
There's
true.
always ways of keeping that back. You just don't see it.
Oh, I'm sure. So tell me about your favorite part working in the movie, or I guess a favorite moment if you have one.
That's a very good question. I don't remember a lot about it. I mean, the whole thing was a very pleasurable experience. It was it was a very hard film because we
Okay.
were dealing with really cold weather and then rainy weather and then a lot of special effects rain. I mean, it was really, mind you, you work for Stephen and that company, and they make it very pleasurable and very easy. So they're always bringing giving you leather jackets and coats and blankets and stuff like that. But there was one moment in the film where we were marching down a hill, and I don't know who started it, whether it was Jeff or I don't know who it was. And they said, let's all do this. And so when Stephen called action, all of a sudden, we all began to whistle. And the whole crew broke up, but they kept it and they showed it in the gag reel. It turned out to be very, very funny. It was a very good humored bunch. We all got along really famously, and so there was never any clash of egos or anything like that, which you normally would find on a film. That would never happened. It was always very good natured and great camaraderie. I remember when we got up, it was pretty much at the beginning in Eureka, and Steven said, we got notices, and our trailers were like, you could live in them. They were like palaces, these trailers. And we all got messages. Steven's giving us a barbecue. Well, his idea of a barbecue is like chefs wearing toques and in the woods, and we each had our own limo. The limo would take us out to the woods.
Nice.
On this barbecue. I mean, amazing. It was a great deal of fun. It was a lot of fun. And, his crew is terrific. The crew is really so friendly and so amenable, and everybody is approachable. That's the one thing about it that really I think is more impressive than anything else, was the absolute absence of ego. No temperament. That's
Wow.
great. Very unusual.
I'm jealous for anyone that has worked on any of the Jurassic films. I'm jealous, and you guys are really lucky.
The cinematography, Janusz Kaminski
Yeah.
is a genius. Janusz is a genius. And I will say this in all honesty, a lot of the credit, and it's probably unpolitic for me to say this, but a lot of the credit that goes to Steven Spielberg deservedly goes to Janusz. So much of the credit goes to Janusz. He's a genius.
He's a great DP. He's been working with Steven ever since Schindler's
Schindler's
List.
List. Yeah.
And he won an Oscar. They both won an Oscar for that movie.
Yeah.
And that's a great movie. I actually saw that in.
And Janusz is just I'm a long-time member of the Motion Picture Academy, and so is I lost. And so is Janusz. And I saw Janusz not long ago at the Academy, and we were talking about that. He's, in every sense of the word, and I'm not exaggerating, I believe him to be a true genius. His remarkable work with the camera. He sets up these scenes. He knows exactly how to light them, how to shoot them. He's marvelous.
Oh, I'm sure he's an outstanding DP. If I ever become to that point of being like a huge filmmaker, I would love to work with him, because that's what I do too. I do filmmaking as a profession. I do a lot of short films.
Wonderful.
The Jurassic Park movies and Steven Spielberg, that got me inspired in doing filmmaking. So
that's great.
And I gotta say, I've watched Jurassic Park and The Lost World since I was like a little kid, like 1, 2, 3 years old. And I have to say, you're definitely part of my childhood, man. I have to say that. And from the bottom of my heart, like every time I hear your line. Don't go into the long grass.
Don't go into the long grass. Don't go into the long grass. Not into the long grass.
And then we see the high angle shot when we see some raptors sneaking up on the hunters. I'm like, that's a pretty good shot, pretty good, especially from Janusz and Spielberg. I'm like, that's actually one of my favorite shots in the movie, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And obviously, we hear you scream once Vince Vaughn finds your backpack. I'm like, uh-oh.
Hey! Look at this. What is this? I think it's Ajay's bag.
Poor
That's
Ajay.
the end of him. That's the end of him. No more paycheck.
Yeah, no paycheck. So I found this picture. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a picture.
Oh yeah.
There's you right there, and there's
There's Pete.
it's kind of blurry. It's blurry. There's Pete and Camilla Bell, who played the little girl.
Who is that?
Do you remember her? She's the one who gets attacked by the Compies in the very beginning.
Oh yeah, we never saw them. That was a tiny little part that they were never with us.
Really? Yeah. You did have a scene together, but apparently this picture was taken in Kauai. Were you in Kauai too when you worked on the movie?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. We went. If I can remember the sequence of events, we were in Eureka, and then we left Eureka, and then we came back to the back lot at Universal, and then we worked there for quite some time, and then we went to Kauai, and we were in Kauai over Christmas, because it was fun to see a Santa Claus walking up the beach in Kauai over Christmas. I remember that. Pete and I were roaring with laughter about that. Yeah, and then we came back and continued till the end of the shoot on the back lot at Universal. It was a long time. It was about 4 months.
Nice. Do you remember what scenes you shot in Kauai? I know it's been more than 20 years, but do you remember?
Wow.
You shot quite a bit.
I think, yeah, Louis is behind me.
You
I
shot
think a
quite
lot.
bit of it.
What did we shoot? We did, didn't we, Louis?
Yeah, you shot. It was because you came back and shot on set a lot, but you shot a lot of the main scenes when it came to walking through the woods and all that in Kauai.
Yeah, I can't remember the specifics, but we did.
There was a lot though.
There was a lot, yeah. And then we covered it on the back lot.
Gotcha. So 3 different locations. You got Eureka, Kauai, and Universal Studios.
And Universal, yeah.
So I know that you now own a bookstore in Los Angeles, which is pretty cool. I saw on Instagram a while back that you have the 2 novels signed. Do you still have those, Mr. Jason?
No, one just sold last week.
Which one was it?
The Lost World, signed by everybody.
How much was that?
I don't know whether I should. A lot of money.
That's fine. Do you have the first book with you? Do you think you could show it? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
I'll bring it.
Yeah, Louis is going to go get it. No, we're blessed. I remember sitting in my trailer and saying to Stephen, when we wrap this movie, I'm in the book business. And he looked at me and said, what? I said, I'm in the book business. He said, you're one of the stars of this movie. What do you mean you're in the book business? I said, nah, I've done this all my life, and I've always had a pipe dream of opening a bookshop. Louis was selling books without, online and book fairs and so forth. And it turned out, and I know it's God's grace, that we opened the shop a year later, and it's now called one of the 3 most important first edition shops in America.
That's really cool.
There's the
that,
okay.
But that's the cover of it.
Wow, the first edition
And
too.
then that's all the signatures.
Nice. That is amazing, Mr. Jason. That's really cool. So for anyone that's watching, if you want to buy this book, go visit, what's it called? Mystery Pier Books?
Mystery Pier Books.
Mystery Pier Books. For any Jurassic fans out there that are watching, if you live in Los Angeles or if you're going to visit LA anytime soon, come visit Mr. Jason over at Mystery Pier Books and buy a book from him.
Thank you, Michael.
That's the next time I'm in LA. I do visit LA every now.
Where are you based?
I'm in the Atlanta suburbs, Georgia, and I'm originally from
Well,
Florida.
please, by all means, come in. It'd be a pleasure. I'll take you to lunch. Come in next time you're in town. Absolutely.
Oh, I'd be honored. Yes, that's really cool. Those and you do have a website too, right? Yeah.
Oh, sure. So,
yeah,
mysterybeerbooks.com. Yeah.
You sell your books online too, right? Oh, obviously, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, but I mean, these are, you're going to spend $15,000-$20,000 on a book. You want to come in and handle the book, see the book.
Hey, I'm sure there's tons of Jurassic Park fans out there that will love to buy that book. So,
well, it'd be a pleasure.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna help you.
I'll hate to see it go, but if somebody has the money, they got it.
Oh, I'm sure. We'll just need to find the right viewer.
We ship all over the world.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's fantastic.
And when we sell really expensive books, I mean, we ship FedEx, but if we sell books that are like, 40 and 50, 60,000, we fly them wherever it is.
Not now.
Not now because of the pandemic, but we
yeah.
have flown books everywhere. We've flown books everywhere. We've flown books to India. We've flown them everywhere.
Oh, that's amazing, Harvey. And I'm sure a lot of bookworms will love to come see your shop and
it'll be a pleasure.
Buy some books, and especially for Jurassic Park fans, if they want to buy the first edition JP book, that'd be pretty cool too. I've actually, I just finished reading The Lost World last week, and it's pretty different compared to the film.
Really?
Yeah. Have you read it?
I have not read it. In fact, Michael Crichton's daughter came in here a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, really?
We were talking about it. I haven't read it. I haven't read it.
A lot of characters are not in the book. It's really different. Even the first.
Oh, is he not? Is Ajay not in the book?
No, he's not actually. So your character is made just for the screen.
Well, I'll tell you. Today, I wouldn't be playing it. Today, they'd have to get an Indian actor, and I'm sure they would.
Yeah, and even the first book is also different. Not as different as the Lost World. I guess the first book is more accurate, but there are some differences as well. But I also finished the first book recently, like the other month. I like both books; they're pretty good. I can't tell which one I like better, the movies or the books. They're both different. But but Michael Crichton, he was a genius.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me, do you remember the first time you saw the movie? Were you at like a premiere?
Well, the first time I saw the movie was a screening, a cast screening, and I was furious. I mean, I was so pissed off that they'd cut that scene because it was all my stuff,
Right.
And I was really upset about it. And Stephen, he didn't. I don't know. I was just upset about it.
I understand. I mean, at least you could see it on the DVD, bonus features. The first time I saw your scene. Okay, so when I was a kid, I saw the movie on VHS. I believe I saw it in theaters too, but I don't remember. I was like 1. Anyways, I've seen it so many times, and then I saw the movie on TV. And then there were the deleted scenes. I'm like, what's this? I've never seen this before. I saw there was 2 deleted scenes. One was the conference meeting with Hammond's nephew, and then your scene where you meet up with Roland, and then Roland beats the shit out of that asshole who was harassing that waitress.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh damn. Roland is even more of a badass.
Yeah.
So I think it's at least people get to see that deleted scene on TV. If they ever do like a re-release of The Lost World in theaters, I think they should put that scene in there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's nice of you to say.
You know what? I actually did see The Lost World in theaters earlier this summer. There's this local theater in my town, and they were showing just old movies. And they happened to show the first 3 Jurassic movies. And I picked just one movie because I didn't have time to watch all 3. So I just picked The Lost World. And I just think, oh my God, it's just so cool to see The Lost World on the big screen, because if I did see the movie, I don't remember it. But but I think it was just so cool to hear your line in the movie. They'll go into the long grass. So I just think
Thank you. It was the whole thing was a very, very pleasurable experience with a bunch of really lovely, lovely people, behind and in front of the camera. It was a lot of fun, and I think all of us enjoyed it. Particularly, as I said earlier, because of the absence of temperament. We were just good friends. All of us were just very close. We became very close, very good friends. In fact, Vince, everybody had their own, everybody had a limo and a driver when we were here. And Vince lived not far from my house. And at one point we said, well, why don't we just drive to the set together?
okay.
And so we asked the, unit production manager, we said, listen, save a limo, we'll both drive together. No. He said, you each have to have your own limo. I thought, yeah, what the hell, yeah.
I think they tried too much just to make, the actors like VIP. It's not like they're a god. They're like any other person. So
Except less.
yeah.
Except less, because the egos of most actors are absolutely astronomical. They're out of control.
Yeah.
Out of control. That's why I don't like to hear actors talk about their political positions or positions on anything else, because most of them are intellectually inferior, deficient. And an actor is, it's a job. It's a job like anything else. There's nothing special about it. Actors are exceptionally privileged people. We've always been treated exceptionally well, much greater than the job deserves to be treated, I gotta tell you. The rewards are great. It's a job. We may love it and stuff. I come from the theater in London and on Broadway, and there it's a serious business. Here you get people, that they're hired mainly because of the look, mainly because of the physicality. Talent has very little to do with it. Very, very little to do with it. And particularly these days, then now this whole move towards diversity, which is wonderful in terms of philosophically, I'm absolutely in favor of it. But it's carried to such an enormous extreme that in the Motion Picture Academy, and I've been a member of the Academy since Jack Lemmon sponsored me in 1972 or 73. And now what they've done, it was the Motion Picture Academy, was supposed to be very prestigious academy. Now they're just letting anybody in, television people, as long as they're not white.
Oh, wow.
And I understand the need for diversity. We need diversity, but for the sake of it, at the expense of talent or experience, it seems to me self-defeating.
I agree. We need to treat everyone equally because I've been working in the industry for like 2 years now, and what I see is pretty bad. Like I'm also a background actor, and background actors get treated pretty bad a lot of the times.
Not nice.
Yeah, I'm saying stuff like that. Obviously, BGs are like the smallest position probably in the industry in movies and television, but they should get treated with respect. They need like
everybody should be treated with respect, regardless of their color or racial background or anything. Everybody should be treated with the respect that is deserving of a human being.
Definitely. I think that would change. I think they just need people like us who can run this industry a lot better, because for the longest time there's been harassment and people haven't really talked about it's getting better. We got to make sure that the industry is in good hands.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we need people like you, with the enthusiasm and the youth of a guy like you, Michael, really. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to see somebody so enthusiastic about the business and with such a knowledge that you have. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I really appreciate Harvey. I really do. Well, I think that sets it, Mr. Jason. I really appreciate your time, talking to me and doing this amazing interview. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and would definitely keep in touch.
Thank you. As I say, please, I'd be a pleasure to see you out here and take in a lunch. And I thank you. I thank you for your enthusiasm. I thank you for asking me. And I thank you for your delightful interview and your delightful personality, and continued success to you in the business, Michael.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My very great pleasure. Thank you. Don't go into the long grass. Don't go into the long grass.
That's great. Love it.